Alright, I'm sitting here on the Scout Rogue 60. It's got a 60 cubic inch V-twin motor, and we are right next to Dobbins Air Force Base, so there are C-130s landing over my head. Pretty nice display, analog speedometer, LCD area with the all the standard stuff. Pretty big gear indicator. Not the high-tech TFT screen, but not bad. Little mini type windscreen here. Looks like it does not have cruise control, but this is just you know, it's got forward controls, foot pegs. Just look at the display here. Pretty nice little display. But now that we're going, my feet are definitely high, but not too bad. I mean, this is a small bike. The lady that was testing it out before me was very short, and it was good for her. Me being almost 6 foot tall is probably too small for me. But I like the looks of it. I like these mini ape handlebars, and you know, I just like the looks of these Indian Scouts. So it's going to be interesting to check out. One thing I noticed is the gear indicator does show when you have the clutch in, which is like my BMW. Harley does not do that. And it does have self-canceling turn signals, so that's a positive. Overall, the riding position is not bad. Like I said, my feet are kind of high, but the seat seems okay. It's just a solo seat. And obviously with this little small windscreen, it's not really deflecting a whole lot of wind. But it looks good. You know, I really wish these smaller, less expensive bikes had cruise control. I know the Harley Nightster Special has cruise control. I don't know about the Nightster Standard. And I don't even know if that's an option on these Indian Scouts. Indian just announced a brand new Scout lineup just a couple of days ago, and this is probably a 23, I would guess. This Scout Rogue, but it handles great. Ride seems to be pretty good. Nice easy pull on the clutch. Gears shift very positively. No complaints on that. You know, as I talked about on my, you know, why I bought my BMW F750 GS, I was looking for a smaller and lighter bike, and I decided to go the adventure bike route. But you know, if you're wanting to downsize and you still kind of like the cruiser look, these Indian Scouts are a good choice. So you get down to an Indian dealer and test ride one, or maybe the dealer near you will have one of these demo days. I dropped my BMW off today for its initial service, and the Indian dealer is right down the street, and they're having this demo day, so I walked down the street and here I am. So it's great to be retired and be able to do this on a weekday. But this is a pretty sharp little bike. This has got the smaller motor. This is the Rogue 60. It's only 5 speeds. The standard Indian Rogue with the larger motor, and I'm not sure exactly how big the larger motor is, but it's I think it's a 6-speed. Got a digital tachometer here and my gear indicator, and I'm let's see, I'm in 5th gear. I'm at like 1900 RPM, so I'm probably too low. I'm only going 40 miles an hour. So let's get it down in 4th. I'm up around 2650 RPM. You know, the riding position is pretty good. I mean, the hands are in a good position with these mini apes. I like that. My only complaint is me being a little bit taller, and I'm just a hair under 6 feet tall. Is that I have a 32-inch inseam, and these foot pegs are just a little bit high for me. I think if I was on a long ride, I would not be super comfortable. .45 miles an hour. I'm in 3rd gear at 3,500 RPM. So it's a nice little motor on this bike. Again, no cruise control. I'm sure it does have ABS brakes. No saddlebags on this model. If you want that, you got to pay extra, but I'm sure Indian has quite a bit of accessories for this bike that you could get. So if you're looking for a second bike, or you're just a smaller, shorter person and you're looking to downsize and kind of like the cruiser type bikes, this is a good choice. You could equip it with some saddlebags and maybe a higher windshield, and I think you'd be good to go. And if you're a shorter stature, you know, 5'8" or lower or so, you know, shorter than that, I think this is probably an excellent choice for you. I mean, obviously I can flat foot the bike, but I think most people of a shorter stature can flat foot this bike pretty easily. Again, this doesn't have the fancy TFT display with, you know, a smorgasbord worth of information on it, but it's got a standard analog speedometer, and the LCD portion is pretty large, so you can read the gear indicator and the tach and the odometer and trip odometer is just fine. Beautiful early spring day in Atlanta, Georgia. A little bit cool, but it's a Friday and I'm out riding a motorcycle, so it's good. Not sure what the cost of this model is. I'm sure it's under $10,000. I'll put it down in the description what the current MSRP is. What do I think of this bike as a first bike for somebody? Well, I think it's probably pretty good. It's low to the ground, easy to handle, pretty comfortable. I would say this would be a pretty good choice. Suspension is pretty good. I'm not sure if the rear shock is adjustable or not, but you know, these smaller bikes just are not going to have the super plush ride that the larger touring bikes are going to have. That's one thing I really like about my BMW F750 GS. It's a smaller, lighter bike, and it has got a very plush ride. Not a bad demo route. Going behind Dobbins Air Force Base, the roads are a little less crowded than this. We're back on Cobb Parkway now. And for those of you who are familiar with Atlanta, this Cobb Parkway here in Marietta and Smyrna, right close to the Atlanta Braves baseball stadium, is a congested area. That's all I can say. This Cobb Parkway is actually US Highway 41, so I'm cruising south on Highway 41. Should have the Allman Brothers playing. Alright, we're coming back up to Indian Motorcycles of Marietta. If you're in the Atlanta area, come down, check them out. Always love these demo events. They're always a lot of fun. Alright guys, that's all for me. This is George Ramblin' Man back at Indian Motorcycles of Marietta. Everybody have a great week. So long, everybody.